Guys, it's Tuesday night and it's the return of the living legend, Coach Ronnie Shields.
Affordable Dentures proudly presents living legend and elite level trainer, Ronnie Shields.
Guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And if it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday night, that means only one thing. We're seeking the counsel of the living legend, the incomparable Coach Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, how art thou, sir?
Good, man. Everything's great.
Oh, I tell you what, it's been long overdue, guys, but it is the long-awaited return of Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields, and I could not do this without the co-hosting talents of my dear friend, the boxing source, J.R. Bill. J.R., how you doing, sir?
All good, checking in here for another episode of Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields.
I tell you what, guys, we've gotten the immortal words of Jerry Reed of Smokey and the Bandit fame. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Before we get to the main event of the evening, and the title of the show is Will Turki Be Done with the USA After September 21st, this Saturday's festivities, let's talk about Tank Davis, shall we, guys? Now, there is a recent story on Boxing Scene talking about Gary Russell Jr., who's fought 8 times in the last 10 years, who says he's interested in facing Tank Davis for his WBA title. Coach Ronnie, did they not see the Danny Swift Garcia fight with Erislandy Lara, your former champion? Did they not see that?
Obviously, they didn't.
Oh, jeez. Oh gosh, I look, Coach, he's not. Look, after the Frank Martin disappointment, once again, terrific performance by Tank Davis.
Yeah.
But obviously, even with David Benavidez in the co-main event, it's somewhat underperformed on the pay-per-view platform. And after this colossal hit, from what I'm hearing, PBC on Prime Video or Prime pay-per-view, they just scored a massive hit with Canelo versus Berlanga, not only with the gate, and I've got some news about that, but also pay-per-view sales. Now it's not in, but it's projected that they did quite well, better than the Munguia fight on Cinco de Mayo earlier this year. After that, though, do you really think they want to roll the bones with someone like Gary Russell Jr., who's not even a ticket seller in the D.C. area?
You know, it's kind of hard to say because, Gary Russell is a good fighter, but
He's a great fighter, yeah.
But at the same time, he don't fight enough. People don't really know him to the point to where they think he may be a great fight for a guy like Gervonta Davis. And that's the only thing that I could see could hurt, that could hurt the pay-per-view sales. People that don't really know him, they go back and look of course, some people probably will go back and look at some of his fights and say that he really is a good fighter. But,
Mm-hmm.
he's just not an active fighter. And, that's not good in this sport. You want to try to be as active as you can. But, would it be a good fight is the thing. And I'm not sure because Kevin Russell has this crazy style that could get Tank some problems, and
Mm-hmm.
with all the experience from the amateurs and the professionals that he has, it could be, that he could give him a great fight. But with people not knowing exactly who he is, that could be a big problem.
Yeah, gosh, let's see. What's the style matchup? Two crafty southpaws, one terribly inactive. Boy, that kind of is reminiscent of Erislandy Lara versus Danny Swift Garcia now, isn't it? I'm just looking at the parallels across the board, and this has, oh boy, maybe something for the diehards, but not so much for the casual and mainstream fans. J.R. Bell, your initial thoughts when you heard this news that Gary Russell Jr., my apologies, was putting his name in the hat for Tank Davis. And guys, it's already mid-September. Time is running out. If he wants to fight again this year, James, what is the likelihood of this happening, sir?
I'm not sure, but I find it interesting that you bring this up, coming from boxing scene.
Yep.
Um, that article is interesting because they had quotes from this, and looks like they cited something pretty interesting. Let me see here. Let's see if I could go through this here real quick. Let's see if it could be
Ah,
on the screen.
uh-oh.
Let's see here. If you could view that, well, looks like they cited a specific media company right there. I mean,
Oh,
that's
uh-oh,
just.
uh-oh, uh-oh. There it is. There it is. There it is, brother. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
just you don't want to, pull that up there. We don't need to, share that very much anymore. But that's basically where it came from. But the kind of like the
you,
backstory
you,
of that
you,
was,
you, you don't say, James.
well,
You,
the
I had no
backstory.
idea. I was just starting that off with a hunch.
Well, the
Congratulations,
backstory to
my
that
friend.
though was, I wanted to actually get in touch with Gary Antonio Russell, and I was trying to reach him on Friday evening. But unfortunately, by the time I got to where I could meet up with them, they pretty much like ended their gym session, so had to table it for another day or later. But when I left, I ran into Gary Russell Jr. and Gary Russell Jr. was the one who told me that he was really interested in putting his name in a hat to fight Tank Davis. Let's see if that can happen before the end of the year. Not only he mentioned that, but his brother Gary Allen Russell mentioned that, and it goes into, and he also talked about Gary Jr.'s dealings with Mr. Al Heyman as one of the few that kind of have a specific deal with Al Heyman in comparison to other fighters. But that's for a whole nother story. But I mean, yeah, they Gary Jr. and Tank have had history in the past, not just in the pros, but in the amateurs as well. The only setback to this being a potential matchup is that you can't necessarily have it in DC. You can't even have it in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, as evidence from the last fight that Tank had. Vegas is where Tank is going to be at. So you got to be able to try to bring enough people to see Tank there in Vegas. Now you might get the tickets for it, but as far as like pay-per-views, I'm not all too certain that will happen. You pretty much brought that up when it came to Frank Martin fight, and it would be the same case here with Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Now, me myself, yes, I would love to see that fight, but from a general standpoint, it won't be successful in the box office.
Yep, to say the least, my friend. So, Ronnie, if you had to pull out your crystal ball, sir, and you had to put your matchmaking cap on, and what would you say is in the future for Tank Davis if he wants to fight this year?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, if he wants to fight, if he does fight Gary, then if he fights Gary Russell, maybe they won't put it on pay-per-view. Maybe they just, just put it on Prime and not pay-per-view. Because really and truly, I don't think it would do good on pay-per-view. But just because not many people know Gary Russell, and but it's a tough fight, though. I mean, it really is. It's a great fight. It's a great fight on paper, but people have to know who you are, and not just read about, your record and, the experience that he has, because he's a really good fighter, man, Gary Russell. And so is Tank. And I think, with two southpaws going at each other, that could be very interesting. But again, I don't know if that's a pay-per-view fight. Maybe they could put it on regular Prime and let people go from there, and it may do something there. But other than that, I just don't see it being a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, you know what, Ronnie? I think you're right on the money, brother, and it's all your decades of experience in this business that tells you this. In my opinion, here's the dark horse, guys. I just saw Devin Haney in the gym. What are the chances of them getting Devin Haney for this pay-per-view in December while he's waiting on Ryan Garcia to come out of suspension? And do you like that fight, Ronnie?
Okay, Devin Haney against who?
Tank Davis.
Oh, against Tank. Well, I don't know if Devin can make 135 pounds. And Tank is not going up to 140.
No, that's not going to be a possibility. I was thinking more of the Ryan Garcia melting him down to something like 137 or 138.
You talking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney?
No. I'm talking about them pulling the Ryan Garcia tactic.
Oh, yeah.
And forcing him to look like Thriller from Michael Jackson again.
Yeah. No, I don't see that happening. I don't see that. I don't think Devin would do that. I don't think they would take another fight like that. I don't think they would do that. I think he wants to fight at 140, and I think he's going to stay at 140.
Well, let's see if he can still make 140, because I just found out that he I heard from several sources that he just turned down Devin Haney a fight with Liam Perro in Australia.
Wow.
And surprise, he priced himself out.
Oh man, I am shocked.
I can feel the sarcasm coming over your mic, brother. Now, look, guys, this is a problem for Devin Haney, and we told you guys that this was going to happen, and this is the folly, and this is what always happens when you pay out inflated purses that exceed the fighter's respective market value. We told you guys this was going to be a big problem for Devin Haney, but hey, it's not our problem, so let's move on. So Tank Davis, they tried to make a deal to get some of that ESPN money with Lomachenko earlier this year. What are the chances of them reaching out to ESPN and Top Rank to try and put together a deal for Tank Davis to face Teofimo Lopez for his WBO title?
I think that's a great fight. But again, Teofimo is at 140 and Tank is at 135. So, if they meet in the middle, it can't be for any titles. And I'm not sure that they would want to do that.
I tell you what, I'd want to see it happen. JR, I'm at my wit's end now then. What do you see happening for Tank Davis if he wants to fight in December? Yeah.
I have another another source that I spoke with on that same day that I did speak with Mr. Gary Russell Jr. And he was talking about maybe Tank might just wait it out until the beginning of next year. Your potential opponents that you mentioned, the Devin Haney, who's priced himself out, or no, he asked for too much money in reference to Liam Perro. He didn't he didn't accept the money in reference to the purse bid when it came to what was it?
Sandor Martin.
Yeah, Sandor Martin. So for Devin Haney, he's not fighting for the rest of this year. I don't see that. Teofimo Lopez is the same Teofimo Lopez that turned down the deal to fight Ryan Garcia earlier this year. The same Teofimo Lopez that turned down an opportunity to fight for the WBO welterweight title because it wouldn't be on a Saturday night. So, as far as like him and his dealings with Top Rank, I'm not all too sure that they would quote unquote reward him with a fight against Tank Davis. So, for Tank in this year is not looking all too good.
Yeah, you know what? Let's put that irritating Teofimo bastard on ice.
Let me tell you something about that fucking Teofimo Lopez.
You know what? It wouldn't be the first time that top-ranking Bob Arum sat one of the guys down who is a legitimate champion, but a legitimate pain in the ass. Can you say Mikey Garcia, anybody? Then there it is. And there it is. Then there it is. Three. It happens, especially with the Bobinator. But guys, before we move forward, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat. Jesus M, thank you so much for supporting the coach on this day. It's good to have the coach back, isn't it? Mr. Adam Hurley, thank you for supporting the coach on this day. We appreciate it, brother. It's good to see you in the chat. Mr. Marcus McMahon, he's got a question for you, Coach. He says, Coach, when can we expect Jermall Charlo back in the ring?
Well, hopefully back before the end of the year out. I've been talking with him over the phone for the last few days, and we just got some things we got to get out of the way, and maybe we can get a fight in before the end of the year's out.
Hopefully on the same card featuring El Sicario, David Morrell Jr. Hopefully on that card. That would be nice. Let's move on, guys. We'll touch on Osvari in just a bit. Refugio, he says, Ronnie, you're 1-0 against Brandon Adams. What did you take away from the Charlo-Adams fight that you can use in the overtime finals with Andreas Katsourakis and Adams, although Charlo and Katz has two different styles? Very good question, Refugio.
That's it. You said it right there. Two different styles. So basically Brandon and Katz basically have the same style.
Yep.
It's
fight of the year candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be that kind of fight, and there's no way in the world I'm backing Katz up. No way. Katz, he's not the guy to take the step backwards. There's no way. So, this is going to be one of the best fights of the year, definitely. And, people might want to go down to Atlanta on November 22nd, I believe it's going to be. And, it's going to be fire. Simple as that.
And that is the Friday night after the Mike Tyson fight. How do you like that, guys? Woo! I tell you what. And I've got an event coming up on November 23rd. I might just have to red-eye it to see that event live because, you don't want to miss that one, guys. It's going to be live on DAZN. Outstanding. And, I have to say this. Katz is a fascinating dude. And he is so smart. And I honestly, his interviews post fight, I can't get enough of that accent. That's absolutely
Yeah,
incredible. But you know what?
yeah,
This kid, boy, he's got some fans. He's
yeah.
got some fans wherever he goes. And you know what? Is this kid the future of 154 pounds, Ronnie?
No doubt, man. This kid, you know, he trains really hard. He studies really good. You know, he's just the fighter that every fighter should look at. You know, and he studies. I mean, he does everything, man. He don't just leave everything to me. You know, this kid, I don't have to worry about him. He studies. I ask him questions. Boom, he knows the answer already because he studies, and that's the great thing about a fighter that they need to look also to see certain things that I may miss. You know, and this is why I have a sister that do the same thing. She studies also, and and they tell me things that I should look at, and I say, hey, well, let's try it in the gym. Let's see what we're gonna do. This is what I love about cats. You know, if he sees something, he's gonna say something.
Yep. And it's going to come from a very, very intelligent place. Super sharp. And guys, I can see him when his career is over. I can see him running the same route as Dimitri Salita and becoming one of the country's leading young promoters. I
Yeah,
can see that. I can see that very, very well, yeah, almost definitely. That's a definite possibility there. But thank you
yeah,
for your question, Mr. Garcia. Excellent question. Charles, welcome to the show, sir. Says, Coach, I'm curious if you were surprised that Berlanga made it to the end of his fight with Canelo this past Saturday night.
yeah. I really was surprised. I give Belanga a lot of credit. Because he fought a good fight, but at the beginning, I thought he wouldn't get past 6 rounds. Really and truly, I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Same here.
I think he should have took more chances though. When you in a high profile fight like that, you got to let it all go. You can't hold it back because when you're fighting a high profile fighter like Canelo, you know you can't have close rounds. Close rounds is not going to get you anything. You have to beat this guy up. And he had a couple rounds in there where I thought he did that, but he needed to be consistent with what he was doing. And, he was backing up a little bit too much. He fell for some feints, and that's why he got dropped with the hook.
Yep.
And, you know, he, that kind of started him a little bit because then after that, he gave away like 4 or 5 rounds in a row, before he started to come back and do anything. But he finished strong, which was good. That let me know he had a lot left in the tank and that he didn't empty the tank. He should have emptied the tank.
You know what, Coach? Bravo, brother. Very well said. And you gave him credit. You gave him proper credit to start off your thoughts and your insight. But bravo, brother. When did we start giving out participation ribbons in boxing, sir?
No, you don't. You don't get that.
So people are patting him on the back. Hey, you went the distance. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
You gave it the old college try.
no, I don't even think he gave that.
no,
Oh,
no.
Honestly,
middle school?
now, once again, after the Jaime Munguia fight, Coach Ronnie said, "You know what? I think Canelo carried Jaime Munguia."
I do. I think he did.
In this fight,
Ooh.
what is your assessment? Because after that knockdown, after around 5 or 6, I didn't see Edgar Berlanga still trying to win that fight.
No,
Did you?
that's what I'm saying. He didn't. I think in his mind he had the mindset, look, I'm just gonna make it and just gonna make it out of the fight. You know, but he did. I got to give him credit for the last round because he fought in the
Mhm.
last round. That's the credit I give him. But when he goes back and look at that, he could have did that the first round. He could have
Yep.
did that the second round. He could have
Yep.
did that the third one. He could have did that every single round,
Yep.
and and really been in the fight. You know, I mean, it was already understood that he had lost the fight. You know, by the 12th round. So
Yep.
he just went out there and showed he had a lot left in the tank, and that's what you can't show. You can't show that it looks like he was scared to go out and do that early, because if he'd have did that early, man, he could have made it a very interesting fight. That probably would have boosted his confidence up so high. This guy, you never know what could have happened.
Yeah, Coach. I'm sorry, I had to put my mic on mute there, Shingao. But
Yeah,
look. So a lot of people are saying, and even a lot of reporters, uh, well, faux reporters, if you want to classify it that way, are saying, oh, he deserves another big fight. I don't see it that way, Coach. I don't
no,
see it. Now, once again, look at the main event in Fernando Vargas versus Felix Trinidad. Those are two guys who wanted desperately to win that fight.
yeah,
That's what we expect to see on the pay-per-view main event.
yeah.
And is this becoming a sad trend in Canelo Alvarez events?
You know, Unfortunately, it is. You know, a lot of people think that that's because he's not fighting the best fighters that's out there.
Hmm.
But you know, it's a hard subject because should he have been fighting Benavidez? Should he have been fighting somebody else that was there when I had David Morrell there? Should he have
Dave
fought
Morrell,
David?
yeah.
Should he have you know should he have done this? We could should have all day long and still not come up with the right answer. But look, you just got to look at Canelo's gait and look at his pay-per-view numbers, and that tells everything.
Yep. Yep. So we should expect more of the same. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, guys, what I've
Yep.
heard is that the MGM wanted Canelo not to be deterred by the UFC event that was going on the same night right down the street. So, from what I was told today, that they gave PBC and Canelo Alvarez a guaranteed site fee of $25 million, and the MGM property kept the gate.
That's
Can
great.
you, wow. So when you consider that guaranteed site fee of 25 million rock, and then you look at the positive feedback and market indicators from a very successful pay-per-view showing, yeah, it looks like PBC and Canelo really cleaned up. So congratulations to all parties involved
That's
for
interesting.
for a
What you just
spectacular
mentioned.
event. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Let's
That's
get your thoughts,
interesting
JR.
that you mentioned that deal that was worked out between MGM, T-Mobile, and PBC with Canelo, because that attendance was like over 20,000 people
Yep.
for that particular fight. So they turned a good gate on that. But like you were mentioning, there is a good segue with the pay-per-view numbers that have been projected for this particular fight. That goes into another thing that you were talking about in reference to Canelo. That, hey, I mean, you're as long as you have those type of numbers for these level fights, what's the point of him fighting like a challenge?
Yep. Well, look, all I can say is this. Now, we're going to ask the coach where he thinks Berlanga should end up next, but let's stay with Canelo right now, guys. In my opinion, where does he go from here? Because when asked about Terrence Crawford and Turki Al-Sheikh in the post-fight press conference, well, Canelo said, no comment. Does he need Turki Al-Sheikh and Terrence Crawford's headache at this time, sir?
He doesn't, man. He doesn't need. He's not in a situation where he needs that money. And I mean, I don't even know what the money would be like, to tell you the truth. So I have no clue on what they would even offer him for a fight like that. Would it be a good fight? I think it would be a good fight. But at the same time, with the little tussle they had before this fight, and I don't blame Canelo on the tussle because he just told him, wait till after my fight with Berlanga, then we could sit down and we could talk. And the Sheik, he don't like to hear no, I guess, because
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you
because then
don't
he went
say.
out, he went out and started saying different things about Canelo, and I think it pissed Canelo off. And Canelo said, "Hey, I don't need your money," you know.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens now, though. Now that this fight is over with, we're gonna see. And look, if they're gonna pay Canelo more money against a guy like Terrence Crawford, he may or may not do it. Got to remember, Canelo is in the driver's seat right now. He's in the driver's seat, and it depends on what PBC is going to offer him next, or what Turkey is going to offer him next. So we'll have to see what he does.
Well,
Mm.
look, I'm
Yo.
just thinking about that year and a half long negotiation between Terrence Crawford and Al Heyman and BBC and Errol Spence Jr. Does Canelo really want to go through that with someone who truly believes he's the big swinging dick in the room? Pardon my French. Like, does he really? Because Terrence Crawford is going to come into this thinking he's A1 or A2. He thinks he's neck and neck with Canelo Alvarez in his mind. And
Well, the thing is,
he's going to try to impose some kind of weight restriction for Canelo Alvarez, who came in around 192 on fight night.
Mm.
yeah, I think if Crawford gets that fight, he's going to have to agree to everything that Canelo wants, not what he wants. You know, uh, I don't see Canelo agreeing to a weight restriction for himself. I
Yeah.
don't see that. I really don't see that. You know,
Oh, boy.
he's going to tell Crawford, if you want to come up to 68, then you got to take the consequences of what the weight is afterwards.
Or get the F out of here, man. Get the
Absolutely.
F out of here.
Get out of here, man. Get the F out of here.
Woo!
Get
I
out
tell
of
you what,
here.
guys, if you
Horrible
haven't
fighter.
already ascertained, man, he's a horrible fighter, man. You know what? And it was amazing. That was in San Antonio, and I didn't want to laugh, but I couldn't help it because I love Demetrius. He and his dad are good people, but that was just too funny. And when
Yeah.
you're right there and it's happening in real time, yeah, that was
Yeah, that was
something to
the first
behold,
time
guys.
that people heard Canelo like kind of speak like that. So of course you would have that shock, and then you would be like, "Oh my goodness, this is hilarious."
Dude, is it Canelo speaking English the gift that just keeps on giving?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Caleb, it's okay. I take care of him for you.
I
Caleb.
take care of them for you.
Woo! So, guys, if you haven't received the memo, the world is Canelo's oyster, and we're just going to have to be paying rent if we want to live in that, housing district. Look, guys, I will say this. If Turkey Al-Sheikh is willing to fork over a bunch of money, because Terrence Crawford is going to want at least between $40 and $50 million for that one,
Oh
and
my
Canelo's going to probably want something similar. Why not use that money then to try and coax Canelo into taking on David Benavidez finally? Or do you think that's just wishful thinking, Ronnie? Is that fight gonna be the Lennox Lewis Riddick Bowe of this generation?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Oh,
I don't see
damn
the
you,
fight
Ronnie.
happening. Look, he's already asking for $150 million to fight Benavidez. He's not going to back away from that. You're not going to get,
Jingo.
you're not going to talk to him about anything less than that. That's what he
Ah.
wants. He understands that, it could possibly be his last fight. So why not? If somebody's going to pay you that kind of money to see you fight, then then the pay-per-view fight prices can't be $15.
Yeah.
Nope,
Well,
sure can't. Can you say $120? Ching out, guys.
well,
Uh,
let's see, but yeah, Terrence Crawford, man. Oh my goodness.
what are we gonna do with poor Bud? What are we gonna do with poor delusional TC?
Well, it looks like Turkey is kind of, answering to the request of Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford, because I mean it's more, of course, I would say it's more likely for Turkey to try to work towards that fight than a fight between Canelo and David Benavidez, and that's why the reports are that Benavidez is kind of locked in for December 14th in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So we're not necessarily going to see. Well, of course, we won't see Canelo in the ring for the rest of this year, but we're not going to see Terrence Crawford in the ring for the rest of this year. So that leaves a possibility that they fight in May. But the other thing is that if they even try to make that fight, are they going to actually try to do it here in the States? Particularly with that type of a purse, I don't know if they're going to do it in the States.
Look, TC, just stick to 154, brother.
Thank
Come
you.
on. Tim Zhu, Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora. Come on, man. Dude, Boots Ennis, come on, man. Come on. But what is the likelihood of, well, yeah, you know what? Chingao. And guys, can we please stop calling Boots Ennis the boogeyman of 147? Guys, there's no such thing as boogeymen, just non-ticket sellers in this business. And don't try and give me this crap that he's a big ticket seller, because if he were, Eddie Hearn would have paid a lot more money to win that purse bid. Yes, I said it. I said it. Thank you.
First bid reference what? I disagree with that.
Uh-oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it, JR. Come on now.
Disagree with that. I'm gonna say now, what is the absolute point of having Eddie Hearn try to get for this fight for a rematch against Karen Chikazian? There's no point. In that particular sense, that's a setup. No Limit Records. I mean, No Limit Studio. I mean, no, excuse me. No Limit Promotions won that bid.
Yep.
So it's now the responsibility of that particular promotional company to try to make that particular fight. Now, hey, they do have something going on here. In October with Tim Zhu, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if they could try to do something with Karen Chikazian and Boots Ennis and host a fight between those two and see how far.
Well, look. Coach Ronnie, here's the $1 million question. Should Boots Ennis ditch his title and move up to 54 where the long green lies?
No, absolutely not. If it's me, and as long as Boots not having any problems making the weight, he need to conquer every belt in the division, then move up. His stock is going to be a lot bigger and better if he moves up with undisputed status. I think got to remember, guys, boxing is a business. It's not about I'm better than you, you're better than me. It's a business, and the more you have, the more you get. And
there it is. There it is. There it is. The more gold you have around your waist, the more gold you'll have in your pockets, and that's it. In the immortal words of your former heavyweight champion, Evander Holyfield, well, if belts don't matter, how come I seem to make a whole lot more money when I have a belt around my waist? There it is. Very well said. Very.
I struggle to agree with that.
You don't have to agree with that, but at the same time, being a fighter, trust me, the fighters know.
That's it. Coach Ronnie knows. Coach Ronnie knows. I tell you what. So let's move on to this news before we start dissecting Coach's thoughts on this past Saturday night's entire pay-per-view card. Let's go to the big news. We're staying on 147. It was just announced for November 16th in the undercard on Netflix. Mario Barrios from San Antonio, Texas, will defend his WBC title against Abel Ramos at 47. Coach, is this a trap fight for Mario Barrios?
I wouldn't say it's a trap fight from Barrios. Barrios, he's a good fighter. He really is. And, you got to give him a lot of credit. He was given a belt and, and rightfully so, because so many others have been given belts before, and a lot of fighters want to win the belt in the ring. And, but, sometimes you have to, if you have to go by the rules, and the rule states that, when they stripped my man, then they made Barrios the champion. When Terry Crawford lost all the belts. So they made Barrios champion. They made Ennis champion. These guys didn't have to fight to become world champion, but they had the ranking to become world champions, and that's the way it works. So we have to live with that. But now they picked a hell of a fighter for him to fight. Because Abel Ramos is no joke.
Nope.
This kid, he's a really good fighter. He's a big welterweight. I tell you that much. He's a really big guy for 147 pounds. I don't know how this guy makes that weight, but he does. And he's a good puncher also.
He can punch. He's got a great gas tank. He applies that hard, intelligent pressure from start to finish. Coach, I'm calling it now. Now, once again, I know Mario Barrios has a very good trainer, and he works his ass off, but I've never seen him flourish against a style like this, and I think he picked on the wrong guy. Boy, that's one hell of a debut for your Netflix. On Netflix, I tell you what, it's going to be a great fight, and I'm picking it right now, guys. Upset special. Abel Ramos is going to become the new WBC welterweight champion. What say you, Coach Ronnie?
Wow, that's a big step up there. I don't know, man. Look, Barrios, with his style, right? He has a kind of sort of boxer puncher style, you know, but the game plan has to be perfect in order for him to win.
Yep. And you're very familiar with his trainer.
Yes.
And he's very, very smart. But can Mario Barrios execute it from start to finish? Because I tell you what, if Mario cannot keep him on the end of his jab, look out.
Yeah. That's going to be. Look, it's a tough fight, man. Can Barrios win? He can have a great night and he can win this fight. He can. But the odds are definitely going to be against him just because of the style. Because the styles in this fight. And, but I think Barrios can win. I really and truly believe he can win. Of course, he has to be in great shape. And, they have to have a hell of a game plan. And, he's capable of that. So I'm not going to count him out.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not counting him out. Well, yes, I am. And he's from San Antonio. He's my brother. Once again, they must be paying him a pretty penny for him to accept this style matchup because I don't like it. For Mario, I love it for the fans. I love it for the card. And boy, what a backdrop for this kind of fight. I'll tell you what, fans are going to be the beneficiaries for this one. And it just cranked this event up. Well, can you say, look, and Greg Alvarez, great guy. what are the chances of him not pushing this across the finish line? Because there have been rumors, Coach, and I know you've heard them, of Greg Alvarez possibly pumping the brakes on this Mike Tyson, Jake Paul main event.
Well, actually, I haven't heard that. But,
Uh-oh. So I'm spilling the beans. Uh-oh.
I haven't heard that. But listen, man, maybe they're going to make Mike Tyson they're going to have to let him take all these different tests, to see if he's capable of doing this event.
I for a second, Ronnie, I thought you were going to say they're going to have to allow him to take all kinds of supplements.
Man.
No, not supplements. but I'm sure they're going to require him to take a lot of different tests. And, is this still going off as an exhibition, right?
They don't know yet. They don't know yet, Coach.
It's probably got to do with his testing. Whatever.
Yep.
But if the tests come back that Mike is okay, then maybe, it'll be a fight. But we'll see.
I tell you what, though, guys, it's shaping up to be a fantastic card. And this is going to be the first major boxing event on Netflix. Let's just cross our fingers and hope for the best, shall we? We want to welcome our brother Anthony Manzano from Florida. Thank you for supporting the content today. He says, Ronnie, you've trained multiple divisions besides a heavyweight division in terms of training. Of which division is filled with the most prima donnas? Now he's saying exclude the heavyweight division because we already know what that's like. So outside of the heavyweights, which have the most pampered, entitled prima donnas?
All of them. Shit.
Hold on.
Trust me. These guys are no different than the heavyweights, man.
Oh my gosh. This wasn't we didn't have this problem 20 years ago, did we, Coach?
No, not at all.
Damn you, Mayweather. Damn you, Mayweather.
Yeah, they all, man.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, look, all you got to do is look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney in that division, But as far as my guys, yeah, man. I mean, they got Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was, woof.
Yeah.
You had to be there and be around. Major Taylor was the same way. You had to be there to be around, And going back a little bit, Rocky Lockridge, when he was champion, I think he knocked out Roger Mayweather. Man, I mean, you have to be there to hear the things that come out of these guys' mouth.
Oh boy, I tell you what, guys, to be a fly on the wall in Coach Ronnie's gym, that's all I'm gonna say. El Pinche OG, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Beth Aniel, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach. He says, salute. I think Bud will have 2 belts, should have 2 belts by now, the WBA and WBO. Fundora getting stripped, leaving the IBF belt to Tim Tszyu and Murtazaliev. I even forgot that fight was happening. Didn't you, JR?
No, I just mentioned it.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
I mentioned it in reference to Tim Tszyu. That's what I was talking about with No Limit Studio. I mean,
right.
No Limit Promotions, right? But yeah, the WBO situation is going to be interesting because, isn't that purse bid supposed to be coming up here pretty soon?
I believe so. But you know that the Tim Tszyu fight is in October the 19th.
Yep.
In Orlando. I got my kid on the card.
Yep. So
who's going to be on the card, Coach? Is it going to be
Joanna's Taz? Yes, he's on that card.
Woo! I tell you what, that's a hard punching bad dude at 54.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, how's he looking in the gym, Coach?
He's looking great, man. We just started really sparring, so last week we started sparring, but he's this kid trains hard also and always ready to fight. So we're looking forward to this fight.
And there it is. There it is, guys. And Beth Annie also says, You know what? I'm glad Vargas is getting some limelight on a big platform like Netflix, but his opponent is just odd. And El Pinche adds to that and says, Coach, why is Abel getting a title shot?
Because he's
This
with
is
the
a
right people.
voluntary, right? And there it is. Hey,
Ooh,
can you repeat that one more time, Coach Ronnie?
Because he's with the right people.
And there it is. And there it is, guys. You snooze, you lose. Hawker Mustang, welcome to the show, sir. And thank you for supporting the coach on this day, as well as my brother in Christ, Alberto. Welcome to the show, sir. And thank you for supporting the coach. Abel Ramos is still boxing. Wow. I tell
yeah,
you what, man.
he's had a couple wins, and well,
Yeah.
I hope y'all. I know they're supposed to. I think they may have updated their rankings, but if y'all check the WBC rankings for welterweight, yeah, they looking hard too.
Well, look, guys, and this is why I recommended earlier that Boots might want to think about moving up to greener pastures. And I mean green in terms of money, because, guys, it's slim pickings at 47 right now.
Very.
So when you're asking me, how did Abel Ramos still get a shot, brother? Have you seen the rankings? My advice to all of you guys, go check out the rankings. Abel, he's got the experience. Boy, I tell you what. And he was the latest contestant on The Price is Right. I'll just put it that way. Okay? Yep. That's it. Yeah, boy. But I tell you what, guys, don't discount. This is a great style matchup and a great fight. Oh, here it is. There's the rankings, guys.
Just look at the left side. That is the WBC rankings right there. So,
oh, wait a minute. Is that Igas Kovalyaskis? Holy cow!
That is correct.
He's still fighting. He's still fighting. Oh
hey,
my
look at
God.
number 6.
I'd rather not. Jamal James, are you kidding me? Oh, Chingao. Guys, look, I'm going to have to just remove this. This is, that's too depressing. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, Chingao. But, guys, that's just downright depressing. So, once again, Boots, come on, brother. Ditch that title. Move up. Move up. Let's make some noise at 154. Woo! I'll tell you what. And Anthony Manzano says this. You know, Coach, as a boxing fan, I honestly don't think Canelo needs to prove anything to these Monday morning promoters and trainers. He could just retire. He has to be the first. He has to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And, you know, on his resume. Well, look, Coach, how difficult is it to convince a fighter to retire when he's sitting on top of the world? Because they never pick the right time to retire. Look, as a fan, I would say, yeah, right out onto the sunset, you know, like the Western heroes do while you're on top of the world. But it never happens that way, does it, Ronnie?
Absolutely not. As long as he can make the kind of money he's making, he's not going anywhere. You cannot tell a guy that's bringing home $35 to $40 million a fight, you need to retire, and you're bringing home that kind of money. There's no one in the world he's going to do that. You know, you could talk to him till he turned blue. But
oh, Chingao.
Hey, look, Coach Ronnie. Look, Joe. Listen, I was able to do it. Listen.
Oh, you know what?
And
Floyd,
Floyd,
I'll just tell you this. Floyd, you've caused enough damage, so just sit down, shut up, and enjoy your retirement. We're still trying to shake off the stench of Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Brother, and I'm not exaggerating. Ronnie?
No. Listen, Joe. Listen. You know what?
Hey, I'll tell you what, Junior, Floyd Joy Sinclair Jr., you can stick it, brother. And that's all I'm going to say. And you're lucky I didn't use my Hulk Hogan voice right there.
Well,
you can just stick it, brother.
Well, let me tell you something there. You know what? I never liked you, Hogan, and I never will. Don't trust your thing.
Oh, my bad.
You know what? I love Macho Man Randy Savage, and that's an excellent, excellent impression, guys. So let's go back to this past Saturday's festivities. Coach Ronnie, we've already touched on the co-main event, and once again, So let's start with Rolly Romero going the distance. Were you expecting a little bit more from Rolly Romero's performance? Because I really like Rolly as a person.
Me too.
Um, and you want to pull for a kid like that, but after that performance, Coach, what does the future hold for one Rolando Romero?
It's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard for him to get a big fight. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, man. He could fight Devin Haney. You know,
Oh, Chingao. Say it ain't so, Ronnie. Say it ain't so.
I'm saying, you know, he's available to fight Devin Haney. If
Say it
Devin Haney
ain't so,
fights,
Ronnie.
if Devin Haney fights at 40 again. But listen,
Oh,
man,
Chingao.
Rolly, he. It's hard to say how, but
I know.
so
I know.
with Rolly, right? Rolly is a good puncher, but you know, it's something he's lacking, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But
well, look. Coach, can I just say it for you?
go ahead.
He doesn't know how to fight.
Mhm.
He doesn't know how to fight, guys. And it pains me to say this because he's a smart kid. I was fortunate enough to do commentary with Coach Bullitt and Rolly Romero on a show 2 years ago. And I love the kid. And he's a very smart kid, but he just started a little too late and he just doesn't know how to fight.
Yeah.
So I said it. You don't have to, Coach. We love you, Coach.
That pretty much nailed it, Joe. I was gonna say, the technique from Rolly, he just doesn't have it. So, and he's in a bad situation being there at 140 pounds. He, of course, came out from 135. He was able to win the world title.
Look. He won a dubious title by
Yeah.
losing a fight against Jackson Mariñez at 35. He was gifted a title when he was losing to Ismael Barroso.
Mm-hmm.
Enough's enough, guys. Enough with the charade. I know we all want to like Rolly Romero, but come on. Enough's enough, guys. You cannot pull the wool over fans' eyes. They're too smart.
Yeah.
Did I say enough, guys? Because I really want to move on from this topic.
Yeah, let's move on from Rolly.
Oh, poor Rolly. God bless you, man. I hope they make a movie about your life story, man. Chingao. But let's move on to another bright spot from this Saturday night. Caleb Plant makes a very strong case for another big fight with his eye-opening performance against Trevor Magumby. Gumby, damn it.
but it wasn't.
No, I'm just kidding. Trevor McCumbee.
It wasn't as he got hurt in that fight, Caleb did, and he went down in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And look, but everybody knew that Trevor McCumbee was a strong fighter.
Yep.
Everybody know he can punch.
Yep.
He's an awkward fighter also, and I think he hit Caleb on the arm and dropped him.
Yeah.
And that's strong.
Yep.
But I think now that Caleb got that victory though, that'll be a great fight for Caleb and Berlanga.
I was just going to say, and I was just going to ask you, do you really think that Berlanga deserves a shot with Caleb Plant after that performance? In my opinion, I would much rather see him versus Gumby.
No.
Versus Gumby.
Gumby, damn it.
I don't think Berlanga is gonna, or I'll say this. I don't think Matchroom will have that take place. I think Matchroom might have Berlanga and Diego Pacheco, two contenders there in the super middleweight division. Yeah. And for Plant, he might wait until we see what happens with William Skull and Vladimir Shishkin for the vacant IBF super middleweight title.
I'm really looking forward to that fight, guys. And congratulations for Dimitri Salita getting another shot at some gold for that promotional outfit. He's one of the good guys in boxing, guys. So I'm really looking forward to that. And look, I'm just going to leave this here.
Oh no.
No.
I'm just going to leave that there, guys, for a second.
Oh.
Now, can we all just please let's get off of Rolly, guys? Come on, man. That's not nice. But look. And honestly, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure about that.
On.
I know. Look, I know your boy Matthew would love to hear me say that, but look, I mean that, and that's from the heart, and it pains me to say that. And look, this is nuts. Iceman, you take that back, brother. You take that back. Oh, Chingao. Good luck.
He said Rolly was outboxing Tank.
Yep.
In a 12-round fight.
Yeah. So he was. So in other words, Coach, he was doing okay until he wasn't.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
won the fight, then I can understand.
More participation ribbons being given out by our extended family. Guys, let's get your final thoughts, Coach, on this co-main event. And your former fighter, Cuban badass, the American Dream, Erislandy Lara, at age, well, W.A.W. Well, they're banging on his door, but he still looks good in the ring. I tell you what, but yeah, it was definitely the path of least resistance. Look, you've got two guys of Puerto Rican descent who aren't even from Puerto Rico on this card as token Puerto Ricans. Let's just face it. That's the only reason why Danny Swift got this assignment, Coach.
Yeah.
But do we need to be subjected through that nonsense ever again? Come on.
No, he needs to retire for good now.
Oh, I felt so bad. My heart really went out to Danny.
That they should take his card and throw it in the garbage. Then
Guys,
put it down.
Chingao.
Garbage disposal.
So, I could hear Tom Brown before this event go, Al, I think it maybe makes a lot more sense. We do have Carlos Adames on signed a contract. Wouldn't it make more sense to have a unification at 160 instead? Adames versus Lara? Boy, Al just wanted that Puerto Rican influence there, man. Yeah. So why didn't we see Adames versus Lara?
They're saving it.
I hope so. But wait a minute. Saving it for what? That's the co-main event, Coach.
Yeah, it's not a main event on pay-per-view for sure. So
Yeah.
It's got to be the co-main event on something.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
But but in all fairness, yeah, you have to use somebody that's Puerto Rican besides Berlanga.
Even if he doesn't know Spanish. Got it. Okay.
Even if he don't know Spanish. Even if you don't know Spanish, you have to,
Oh, I tell you what, I really felt for Danny Swift as well as Angel Garcia. But guys, you've had a great career. 3 division world champions. Hey, you've had a wonderful career. So, hey, hats off to 2 very, very nice guys and very interesting characters that really made us smile over the last decade. So God bless you guys. I hope you enjoy your retirement, but please make some different looking suits, man. Chingao, dude. Goodness gracious. Well, look, Danny Swift is a very smart guy, and he's invested his money well. He'll be fine, guys.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be fine. Oh, El Pinche, you're still on this, brother. You're still on this. Dude, come on. Come on, man.
What was the result?
Yep, there it is. So once again, he was doing okay until he wasn't. Oh, jeez. So, guys, let's move to our main event of the evening, 64 minutes in. Coach Ronnie, did you see the grand arrivals in London? For this event, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dynamite Dubois. Oh boy.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh. Packed to the rafters, fans treating these guys like rock stars. And once Turki Al-Sheikh gets a taste of 100,000 spectators on Saturday with a main event that is definite, like, I can't see this main event not delivering on the biggest stage of boxing. Can we say Turki Al-Sheikh is going to say bye-bye to the American market and staging events here?
He may have to do that, maybe, and you know what? The pay-per-view is only in $19.99.
Yeah,
That's a great thing.
Yeah, the only thing it's going to do is lower his profit margin because I can't see. Look, once again, this is a mainstream event in the UK.
Yeah, the UK
But this is a nothing more than a diehard fight in the American market.
Yeah, because not many people know Dubois as good as they know Anthony Joshua. But, but still, I think it's going to do great here also. I really do. Because heavyweights just seem to bring out everybody.
Let's hope so, Coach.
Yeah. They do. And I think it's going to do great here also.
Let's hope so, Coach.
For that price.
I hope so. Especially with it being $19.99.
Yep. And you know what? And we're not reciting a Prince song. That's actually the price. I tell you what, guys. So we encourage everyone to invest. Now, come on, guys. If you buy 2 meals at McDonald's, it's more than this pay-per-view price. Out, guys. There's no excuse.
Or
Please
1 meal
support
from 5 Guys.
I tell you what, no. Out. Or Whataburger these days. Hell.
Right.
But look, guys, look. Please financially support your beloved boxing. We are depending on you, okay? Because look, let's just face it. Turki Al-Sheikh, after losing over $15 million in LA for his first Riyadh season and possibly the last in America, he is going to rake it in the UK, Coach. And that...
Yeah, but look, but their pay-per-view prices are even lower, 3 times lower than ours. Anyway, 19, $20 over there for every fight. Even the Canelo fight over there was $20. Or 20 euro. So it's nothing over there. And why we have to pay so much, I don't know. But I'm glad to see the pay-per-view prices are going down, for a lot of these fights, and maybe more people will buy it, and I hope they do. So it's a wait and see thing.
Well, I can guarantee you this. Unlike this past Saturday's main event on pay-per-view, both guys in this fight will actually try to win the IBF Heavyweight Championship. Coach, you've seen Daniel Dubois as well as Anthony Joshua up close. What is your prediction for this clash of the behemoths in the UK in front of 100,000 strong at Wembley Stadium?
I say Anthony Joshua winning by knockout in maybe 10, 11 rounds.
Wow. Ooh, if it goes that long, that's going to be some high drama. Do you think Anthony Joshua is going to suffer a bad gash from that battering ram of a head from Daniel Dubois?
Definitely he's going to get cut. That's without a doubt. Hope you have a good cut, man. Because it's going to happen.
Oh, boy.
It's going to happen.
Oh, a bit of foreshadowing from our beloved Coach Ronnie Shields. I tell you what, J.R. Bell, what is your prediction before I make mine?
Joshua by round 5. The thing with Daniel Dubois in his past couple of fights, I really felt like it was more of like an attrition with him, not necessarily skill. And one thing that he did mention in the Grand Arrivals thing when he was talking with the folks on the zone was that he said he'll do anything to win, and that includes headbutts. He did mention headbutts.
Yes, I heard that.
But the thing about it is that, in that fight against Hrgovic, he was, open to the right hand multiple times. And now you're going up against Joshua, who's known for his right hand, who sets up shots, who is a counter puncher. So even though Dubois has some type of a jab, you're going up against someone that could basically have you comfortable throwing that jab and then come right back with a counter right hand.
Yeah.
So I'm saying round 5. I'm gonna give him a little bit more credence than Charles Martin, because I was saying that it was going to be similar to the Charles Martin fight, but I'm going to give him a little bit more than that.
All right, guys. I'm going to make my final prediction now since we have the coach on the show. And I'm pulling for the upset, brother. I'm calling it right now. Upset special. Look, guys, Anthony Joshua is riding in with a lot of confidence over beating up Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou. Daniel Dubois has exorcised the demons. Everyone was calling him a quitter, and then he arguably knocked out the current undisputed heavyweight champion in Alexander Usyk. And then he goes on to hand Big Baby Jarrell Miller his first professional loss, and he stops him late. And then he goes on to stop Philip Ergovich. In my opinion, guys, this kid has exorcised the demons, and he's already, if you haven't watched the promos, he's already gotten into Anthony Joshua's head. In my opinion, he stops Anthony Joshua in the mid to late rounds with that big bulbous cranium, followed up with the right hook, and down goes Joshua. Down goes Joshua. I'm saying it, guys. And once again, at a 4-1 betting underdog, I'm going to make some long green. How do you like that? I'm going to put some skin in the game. What do you say there, Ronnie?
Hey, I don't blame you for putting skin in the game.
They're going to say thanks for the donation.
And that's a good synopsis of the fight. But that's why I said 10, 11 rounds. Because, look, Dubois is going to come with that head. He is. He's going to hit, but he already said it. He already said what he's going to do. So he's going to do that. And if he cuts Joshua, then it could be a problem because, number one, Joshua got to watch out for that because, this guy has a hard-ass head. He does. And he can knock you out with the head. So, but I really believe that Joshua will keep him on the end of his jab. And I think Joshua will pepper him up and will stop him late. I really believe that.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, regardless, it's going to be a terrific fight. And let's just face it, Coach Ronnie, with those fans, they are going to make a spectacular event.
Oh, but
I tell you what, those UK fans are something else, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Guys, it's going to be a terrific event, guys, and you don't want to miss it. And once again, it's only $19.95, guys. Come on now. Woo! Yeah. I tell you what, though. We want to say hello to our dear friend, Team Batman Boxing. He says, I'm going to the AJ Dubois fight. Looking forward to it. Yes,
Batman.
sir.
Hey, Batman, yes, listen, make it to the weigh-in. Just make it to the weigh-in at the very least, too. Just to experience that and then being in there. The Wembley Stadium, oh, my goodness. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. And there it is. There it is. Team Batman said this. I did bet Dubois to stop Miller and Ergovich, but I'm betting AJ to stop Dubois. We'll see, guys. That's why they fight the fights. And once again, need I remind you, the heavyweight division truly is the theater of the unexpected. Anything can and often does happen. But I tell you what, guys, that's going to be a tremendous event. But, guys, let's end with this. We are seeing the top-ranked debut on ESPN of one Jaime Munguia facing what's his name? What's his name? Bazinian. He's facing Bazinian. So whenever someone sneezes now, I'm gonna say Bazinian. Guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Jaime Munguia looks this Friday, coming off of his first professional loss at the hands of Canelo Alvarez. in which, yeah, I thought he looked quite good until he got knocked down.
Yeah.
And then Canelo decided to carry him. But he's back with Eric Morales. And, Coach, what are you expecting to see from Jaime Munguia against Brazilian?
Well, I think he's gonna be the same guy. He can't change. He's gonna be the same guy. Comes forward. You know, he's a pretty strong fighter. So, you could count on him throwing a lot of body shots in this fight. So, but we'll have to see how he look. Now the spotlight is on him. So, he when he fought Canelo, he got dropped, but he got up, and everybody think Canelo carried him. So we're going to have to see what type of fighter he really is right now. He's going to have to show that he belongs in the 168-pound division.
There it is. There it is. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. And, yeah, so what do you think of Zanfer Promotions and Jaime Munguia making the switch from Golden Boy to Top Rank, Coach?
Well, it probably has to do with money, of course. And, I don't know, man. Oscar's a really good promoter, I believe. And so is Top Rank also. But, I have no idea why they would switch.
Do you think it has anything to do with not being able to get any assignments for Janabek Ali Manala?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I mean, I really have no idea. But Janabek couldn't make weight the last time, and then
that's what I'm saying.
He made weight, but then, he got sick, and so obviously he had a problem with making weight. So I don't know if that has something to do with it or not.
Because I tell you what, Jaime Munguia versus Janabek Ali Manala, that's like peanut butter and jelly in the ring, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, look, if you're going to find a style to bring out the best of Janabek, that's it. And honestly, I love that fight. Let's hope it gets made sooner rather than later. Wait a minute, Iceman, come on. Really? You didn't have enough? You didn't have enough between Crawford and Madrimov? You want to put everyone through that? Also, two counterpunchers staring at each other the entire night? Really? Brother, I'm taking your matchmaker's license away from you. Shit. Chingao. Well, we're at the end of the road, except we promised you we were going to get an update on El Sicario, Osvari, Dave Morrell Jr. How's Dave Morrell Jr. faring, and is he excited about his Prime debut on what? This is going to be regular Prime, correct?
Yes, it's going to be on regular Prime, December 21st, back in Minnesota.
Very good, very good. It's home away from home. Yeah. And I tell you what, when is camp going to start, Coach?
Probably like the second or third week of October.
Very good, guys. And I tell you what, we can't wait to see Osvari back in the ring. Is there anyone else that you'd like to mention that we did not bring up, Coach?
No.
Yeah. JR, do you have any final comments or questions for the coach, sir?
Well, yeah, I gotta see if he had any update in reference to Lorenzo Truck Simpson potentially getting in for November.
Yes, actually, Truck is going to fight here in Houston on November 1st. We just found that out today.
Okay.
That it's going to be here in Houston November 1st. And unfortunately, I won't be here to help you. So my assistant, Latrivia Pierce, she'll have to handle the duties for that because I'll be in Las Vegas with my guy, David Stevens, fighting a co-main event on the Golden Boy show. But Floyd Schofield is the main event, I believe. And that's in Las Vegas on November 2nd.
And there it is. There it is, guys. Tell you what, I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to the rest of the calendar. And let's hope Alexander Usyk is not detained any further in Poland. Chingao. We do not want anything spoiling this huge end
No.
to what should be a great calendar year 2024 in boxing. Coach, do you let's see. JR, do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
Not necessarily. I have what is it coming up tomorrow? I'll have former world champion Sharmba Mitchell on for the midweek report.
Woo!
He will be
Sharmba.
one of the inductees in the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame this year. So I'll be talking with him.
Oh, congratulations to Shambe. I tell you
Yeah,
what a great
congrats.
guy, a great fighter until he ran into that buzzsaw. Oh, Kostyazu. Look,
Yeah.
Ronnie Kostyazu at 140 pounds. Where would you rank him in terms of all-time greats at 140?
At 140, I put him behind Aaron Brown.
And that's it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, can you say, like, even in the amateurs, Coach, that
Oh.
guy was a stone cold killer with that right hand, wasn't he?
He was a beast. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, a joy to watch. Just don't bring that up against Shambe when you interview him, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Floyd.
Well, the Floyd one, you can give him a pass because that's Floyd. But
Yeah.
man, I tell you what, I was devastated because I was pulling for Shambe in that rematch. Oh, but that right hand, Coach, and you never saw it coming, man. It's like, how does he get it out that quickly with that much torque on it?
Yeah,
It almost
Thank you.
defies the laws of physics in the ring, doesn't it?
it does.
Guys, if you aren't familiar with King Kostyazu, go back and look at some of his fights. He was a
indeed.
true joy to watch in the ring. And I'll tell you what, we miss fighters like that who always brought it in the main event, unlike Edgar Berlanga. And that's the last I'm going to say about it. Look, guys, I'm sorry, Coach. I have a real problem with this. $90, and you're getting paid $5 million guaranteed, and you're not going to leave it all in the ring.
Yeah. Well.
And then he wants to be rewarded with another big fight.
Yeah, of course.
Oh boy. And there it is. There, I said it, guys. So Coach didn't have to. But I tell you what, Coach, it's nice to have you back, brother. God bless you. We missed you.
Great to be
Any
back.
parting shots for our listening audience tonight, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little different this time. I just want to say that now that all the pay-per-view fights are seeming stuff in the States to be going down, people please pay for these fights and support boxing, because boxing is real.
There it is. It's as real as it gets, guys. And for $20, there's no excuse, guys. Let's start this Saturday. Let's make a big event out of it. Let's put up some numbers. Financially support your beloved boxing. If you want it to love you back, boy, you've got to show it some love first. Guys, on behalf of J.R. Bell and on behalf of the great living legend, Ronnie Shields, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields. Have a great evening, everybody.
W.A.W. Ventures proudly presents living legend and elite level trainer Ronnie Shields.